Be blessed. Blessed counsel. There was a story about a dog who had a cat stuck up in a tree that he just couldn't get down. So he started barking around for help. A bird at the top of the tree spoke up, telling him that an easy way to get to the cat was to simply just fly up there. However, a frog hanging on the tree branch next to the dog thought it was ridiculous and told him, no, you can't fly up there, for it is far better that you hop up. After that, an ant crawling up the tree trunk with raised antennas butted in and yelled that you can't just fly or hop up, you must crawl straight up there and show the cat who's who. Finally, another dog was walking by and saw his friend sitting under the tree. He looked at his friend's dilemma, whispered something into his ear, and walked away. The dog thought about the advice for a minute, then ran off the other way, barking. After a couple minutes or so, the dog returned to the tree, plopped his butt down on the grass, and began to wag his tail. You see, he had brought the cat's owner, and with them, quite a large ladder. Like the dog in the story, we are always getting counsel from somewhere. If you've been watching this series, then you will understand the type of people who may be leading you astray. Psalm 1 verse 1, it gave us a characterization of those who are not blessed by God despite their appearances, their indifferences, or their boasts. And we know that we are not to fear man, but to fear God. However, God does not stop there. If Psalm 1 verse 1 is about the wicked ways that the blessed are to keep themselves, and in return are kept from, then Psalm 1 chapter 2 is who the blessed take counsel seriously from. Let's open it up. Psalm 1 verse 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates day and night. God would have us know that it is not enough to just keep your life from wickedness. Life cannot be neutral. And so he tells the blessed that they must fill their life with the best and most righteous counsel. Mature Christian men and women are great. Same with sermons. But we should know that the best would come from God himself through his word, the Bible. Delight in the law of the Lord, and on his laws meditate day and night. Now, the blessed delight in the law of the Lord. The root word for delight in Hebrew is hafetz, meaning to be inclined to. This gives us the picture that the blessed, when given the choice of whom will guide their life, will favor God's word by leaning on that. Yes, there may be temporary loss or disdain or pain, but will fail in comparison to the inner joy of knowing you did it right by God. And in knowing you did it right by him, he will be with you and bless you. You'll have a greater portion of his presence there guiding you, giving your life purpose, and maybe, just maybe, he'll give you the desires of your heart. With all this talk of joy, we can see then that the blessed do not just tediously study or read God's word. Their heart delights in knowing God for all that he is and has to say. On God's law, the blessed meditate day and night. This phrase is important because it relays to us a focused, godly lifestyle. Bible reading is not just one part of the day, and is not just one part of the Bible. This meditation goes from daily contemplating, to reciting, to acting it out in your work, to imagining the scriptures when it gives us a picture in our mind. And that picture renews the mind and frames our thinking. Just like our psalmist, who focused on the first 5 books that they had at the time, the Torah, we too can focus on the 66 books that we have. From the law, to biblical poetry, to Proverbs, to the prophets, to the life of Jesus, to the epistles, and much, much more. To add to this, this blessing is circular in nature. The blessed read, and those who read are blessed. Then they think, they learn, they apply, and when a question arises, they go back and seek God's counsel again. They acquire wisdom and slowly ascend the spiral staircase of grace towards their God. Take note of that. The blessing compounds with more meditation on the entirety of God's word, and you will be rightly equipped. The blessed take what they have meditated on and live it out for everyone to see. look at the results promised to the blessed. Psalm 1, verse 3 gives us our imagery. You'll be likened to a strong tree planted next to a flowing river. You will bear fruit in season because God will bless your work. Your leaves will never wither because God will sustain you in times of drought and hardship. And as God guides you by his counsel, you will prosper. Which brings us to the most important part of this verse. The work of the wicked is limited only to this life. It is cursed to end, burned, and then be forgotten. It will be consumed by evil children, the government, or squandered on foolish things and left. But the work of the blessed will transcend this life into the next. If you work unto God's counsel, then it will have an eternal effect. If you love according to God's word, then those relationships will have an eternal effect. Ponder with me this then. The blessed counsel just doesn't apply to this life and doing well here, but forever. And forever with Yahweh Yahweh, the Lord will provide. So then, I beseech you, will you fear God above the ways of man, take his counsel, and on his word be blessed.